Hey guys, welcome to another quick episode of Trading Bitcoin with your host, Tone Days. Actually, I clicked the live button by accident. I wasn't prepared to go live this quick. So let me pull out the live chat. Hold on. Totally not smooth. And I gotta check my mic. I didn't double check that it's on the right mic. Let me take care of some of this stuff. Close that. Take out that. Move that over. There we go. Okay. And we're live. All right. So let me check the audio setting. Okay, I'm good. Audio should be clear. Okay. Um, let's take a look. Look, as you guys know, I never thought the market bottomed, and I still don't. I still think we're gonna go lower. You can disagree with me. You don't have to agree with me, right? To me, this entire run-up was unnatural, and the more unnatural it got, the more worrisome the situation became. So I still think Bitcoin is in trouble. I know that the moving averages have flipped and lots of metrics went bullish, but even for Bitcoin, this isn't normal. I know everyone wants Bitcoin to go to $1 billion, and it's finally doing what it was supposed to do months and months and months ago, and it's late. It's late on doing this, and by being late, I am concerned that we are going to hit a potential of an 80% correction. I thought Bitcoin was over its unreasonable crashes, but clearly it's not. So because of this unreasonable exponential rise in this point in the game. So it remains a big concern. So at this point, the original fall of 30%, which was my absolute bare minimum in time and price, clearly was not the correction, right? The correction is still incoming. We are now at 33% down, and it has now taken us 3 weeks. That is more like a normal correction. I still need this to go lower, at least 40% down, like for me to be comfortable, right? These are different things. Me becoming a general bullish on on Bitcoin is not trade, right? There is a general sentiment and then there's trading. You need to know what you're doing when it comes to trading. Investing is different. At this point, because Bitcoin went up so much, you should have had some Bitcoin. I did. People that hodl did. So I am still waiting. I wanted to sell in this 12, 13,000 vicinity, and I didn't get a chance because I wasn't around to sell anything. And because I don't have any exchange accounts, I don't risk anything on exchanges. So I only had a chance to sell at 7 around consensus, and I think I will be able to buy that back cheaper, which means I believe Bitcoin is going lower than 7. I really do. You don't have to agree with me, and if I see the trend change, I will try to change my mind. I will try to warn my viewers on what I think about that. So right now we are being supported by the setup trend line on the 12-hour. I do not believe this trend line is going to hold. And right here, as we dropped below this red line, I had said that I'm expecting Bitcoin to correct and correct hard. So let's see. We fell a little too far very quickly. There can be a bounce here, but I remain very, very bearish right now. Of course, it can turn around any moment. People love to use me as a reverse indicator, and that's fine. In which case, please put all your money in Bcash and Ethereum and Ripple and watch it all go to zero. I am perfectly okay with that. So right now, your 12-hour has gone bearish on a red 2 below a red 1. Your daily remains bearish on a red 7 of 9, breaking setup trend, which is very, very significant. Breaking the moving average, which is very significant. To me, this is pretty bearish. Looking at Willy Woo's work and NVT, it remains grossly overbought. It hasn't been this overbought throughout the entire bull market. It went higher than it ever did, even in the 2017 all-time high. It has stayed above this line since April, where I got out with my trades back in April right here at 5,100 and looking for a significant pullback. We never effectively bottomed, again, according to Willy Woo's work. We never effectively bottomed. Like right here, we bottomed at NVT. The price went significantly lower. The NVT did not, creating a bit of a divergence. We crashed here, but the NVT never made it to the oversold level. I don't even need it that low. I would just need it around 30, and we're not even close to that. I'm still very, very skeptical in this market, and I remain ready to buy up a bunch of Bitcoin when the time is right. And I just don't think the time was right. I don't, guys, I have no thoughts on unregulated exchanges. They are shady. I do not use them. I trade on regulated exchanges. Yes, I have affiliate codes to unregulated exchanges because you're going to trade there anyway. Okay, so might as well use the affiliate code. However, I have no opinions. There is no regulation there. If there's no regulation there, I don't know what's going on there. Okay, I don't trust unregulated exchanges. It's that simple. I have no opinion on $100 million short that appeared on BitMax. I would have no opinion if $85 billion short, 80%, like 40% of the Bitcoin total market cap appeared there, because I don't know what's going on there. This is why you have regulation. What people don't understand is if this run was not sustainable, it could have turned and fell 50% at any moment. And I don't want to participate in an unsustainable rise. So I had no interest in doing that. If you have an interest in doing that, no one is stopping you. I don't. The shorter term time frames, here is the 4 hour. The 4 hour is consolidating. We just made a new low, maybe, or close to it. So the low here was 93.34. The low here is 92.37 versus 92.34. So we just made a double bottom. So on the 1 hour chart, this would be reflected. So we just made a double bottom on the 1 hour chart. This is to me, this is very, very bearish. This means the hourly chart is now breaking this area of support here. Okay, we had a 9, we had a 1 to 4 candle correction, went a little bit higher, and now we're turning back down. I think this is pretty bearish. It's falling faster than it should. Ideally, this should have bounced from 9,200 up towards the moving average at 10,000, but it can't even seem to do that. So I am now pretty bearish on Bitcoin, like I kind of was most of this whole time. You might have seen me be bullish for like a day, and even then, there clearly was not any serious bullish trade recommendations. Not that there are recommendations in general, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait and see if I win my bet with Crypto Man Ran that Bitcoin is gonna fall below 4,500, and then I'll probably be a big bull and start buying. But until then, this is not right, and it's gonna fall. Bitcoin dominance needs to be significantly higher in order for the bear market to end. I've said this many times. Here's Ethereum. Again, Ethereum needs to go below new all-time lows. Once again, people continue to have a problem with my statement that that Bitcoin has the ability to fall 80%. And everyone seems to think that it needs to be 80% from the range of low to high. No, it doesn't. And I used Ethereum to explain this. In Bitcoin's history, every time it goes exponentially up, it has always corrected 80%. It did it here. It did it here. It did it in 2011. It did it in 2013 twice. And it did it in 2017. We have just gone up again exponential. What people don't understand is when you go exponential and you eventually top somewhere, an 80% correction tends to follow. Does it have to happen this time? Of course not. Does it have a high probability of happening? Yes, it does. Now, this 80% correction happens from the very peak of the price, not the range of the price. But in the past, it didn't matter. The low last time was 150. The high was 20,000. 80% is pretty much the same, whether you go from 0 or from 150. It makes no material difference. It makes a difference of 75 cents. That's all it probably does, right? It makes a difference, not 75 cents, but it makes a difference of about $30. Who cares, okay? It's irrelevant. What I want to point you to is this. It's the scam Ethereum chart. And it proves it to you. Because right here, every time markets go exponential, they correct 80%. It doesn't matter what the asset is. It corrected 80% here. It went exponential again. And it corrected 84%. But then look what happened after. It went exponential yet again here. It did not reach new all-time highs. It topped earlier. It topped before new all-time highs. And guess what? It corrected, and it's still correcting 83%. Now, Ethereum is, of course, a special case. Ethereum is going to go to zero because it's an unsustainable, unscalable, useless technology. But we're not talking about a market this extended, right? We're just talking about this correction here. Because back here, people were still delusional that Ethereum actually has a chance to last into the future. People are a little less delusional now, but at the time, people were still delusional thinking that Ethereum can succeed. And here is another correction of 80%, maybe a little bit less, 70 something. 78. Okay, close enough. But if you count this next wick, it's like 80, 82, okay, 81. All right. So the point is the same. When markets go exponential, they become unsustainable. And when they correct, things end very badly. So while you guys enjoyed making fun of me during this exponential rise, you will be the ones that are going to be upset on the way down and not myself, because this was troublesome. exponential rises without a fundamental economic shift in the underlying and in the confidence of the asset, in the in the uh, fundamentals of the asset. Bitcoin's fundamentals have not changed. People's view of Bitcoin has not changed. Nothing in Bitcoin has changed between 2018 and 2019 other than shitcoins are dying. That helps Bitcoin because more and more people are becoming Bitcoin maximalists. I see a question from Nick. Could the NVT be wrong due to the institutions taking big positions in Bitcoin suddenly? I do not believe that institutions are taking big positions in Bitcoin. I've always been very skeptical of that because this space has no regulation. Yes, the NVT can be completely wrong. Willie Woo said on the Hyperwave channel, yeah, I haven't had time to watch the Hyperwave channel, unfortunately. Willie Woo said on the Hyperwave channel, the run-up was not recorded on NVT, was more speculative on exchange volume to little known network transactions. Yes, I agree. He sees a pullback to 7 or 8 region. I think that is, I agree. I also see a pullback to 7 or 8, but I have probably a significant probability, way higher than anyone else, except maybe Tyler, that we can go significantly lower than 7K. I have no opinion on Wyckoff. I do not trade Wyckoff. I do not trade these long-term. I don't trade patterns that take a year to develop, right? Like I don't trade Wyckoff. I don't trade Elliott Wave. I need something that I don't have to watch for 18 months to give me a signal. So I'm not a big fan of Wyckoff. I think it's too subjective and it takes too long. If Tether gets banned, Bitcoin will probably rise quickly because and then crash because remember there's a liquidity crunch and everyone's going to rush into Bitcoin, otherwise they have no value. I have not paid attention, guys. I don't pay attention to other traders. If anyone thinks I am mimicking Peter Brandt, you are highly mistaken. All my thoughts are generally my own, and I only listen to people when they come on my YouTube channel. So if you've never seen someone on my YouTube channel, I guarantee you that I have no idea what TA they are doing. This fall can stop anywhere. Okay, we are talking about I'm generally trying to do this channel for traders that are adults. Markets can reverse at any point, on any day, on any second, at any price. What we are talking about is where is it more probable for it to reverse? It can reverse at 8,500. It can reverse. It could have reversed 10 minutes ago. It can reverse at 33 cents. Bitcoin can fall to 33 cents and then reverse and go to 100,000. The price of Bitcoin can fall and reverse from any point at any time. What we are talking about is where is it most likely to go between the current price of 93.66 and 0. Okay. And to me, while a turnaround in the $7,000 to $8,000 area is pretty likely, I think it's more likely that we go lower. I don't have a prediction before 3 months of halving because I don't know where this market is going to turn to the upside. Okay. I still, like I said, I was never comfortable with these lows. I always felt that Bitcoin should have bottomed out lower. We will see if that happens. The probability of going sub 3,000 for me is less than 50%, but it's not that far off 50. I don't normally like to glance at foreign stocks, guys. I'm curious how the S&P 500 is doing. S&P 500 is pulling back. I'm not surprised. Oh, wait. I need the futures. S&P 500 is pulling back a little. I think with the NASDAQ being on a 9, it really should pull back some. And I would not be surprised on that. Oh, I did pull this out. I have 2 of these. Okay. So markets are not open. I mean, they're open in the foreign markets. Let me, I want to glance at the Australian index. I want to see what's going on in Australia. Where's ASX? It's one of these. What's the difference? Oh, this is all of them, and that's the top sector. I mean, it's bullish. The Australian stock market is pretty bullish. I like it here. New all-time, well, I'm assuming it's, I don't know if it's new all-time highs or not, but probably not new, close to new all-time highs of 2007. That's good. Hey, you topped on a 9 at the all-time high on a 9 weekly. Good job, guys. It's still somewhat bullish. Let me see. So this stock tops on a 9, so you know where to get out. It's not new to topping on 9s. Here's a double 9 actually, which is great. There was a 9 here. See, this 9 is way more interesting because it's happening at a new high. This 9 was happening at a double top. So if you know my trading rules on a double top, you don't have that as much of a concern. This looks like a new stock. It's a weekly chart, however. The weekly chart is still bullish. It's being supported by the moving average. I would just be a little bit cautious. The daily chart is not looking very good. The daily chart topped on a 9 in line with a weekly 9. That was a perfect time to get out of your trade. That was on May 8th. And if I go back to the weekly chart, this is on the week of May 6th, right? So here you go. You had a daily 9 inside a weekly 9 telling you when to get out of this asset. And there hasn't really been much reason to get back in. Granted, it had a big run up here, got rejected by the daily setup trend line, and now it's going lower. I would wait. I would wait for a bigger pullback. It's deferring the 13 count. Wait for the sequential 13. Wait for a 9 daily, and hopefully the weekly will reverse. Hey, thank you for the nice comments, guys. I think that the bull run will begin before the halving, but it might begin like a week before the halving. Like I can see a scenario, again, I am a pessimist here. I am a bear here. I don't like this chart. I don't like this price action. I don't like the fundamental environment of Bitcoin. I don't think there's anything here to be very happy about with what's going on. I still don't like the attention to altcoins. I still don't like how they continue to be a problem for people in the world economy. So I have a very pessimistic outlook right now for Bitcoin. Now, when can Bitcoin reverse and start a bull market? I have always anticipated it to begin sometime in 2019. But that depended on going lower and killing the altcoins, which did not happen. It did not go lower. And it started to kill the altcoins, but it didn't do it. And hopefully they'll die even if Bitcoin starts to rise. So I can see this bear market lasting into, where's the halving? There's the halving, right? I can see this bear market lasting into like, actually, I don't know if it's still scheduled for 18th of May. It could have moved up or whatever. I can see it lasting into like a week before the halving. And at that time, if Bitcoin continues to drop and Bitcoin is making new lows with a week to go before the halving, I can see people genuinely panic that after Bitcoin's halving, it will just die, okay? And that's when I go all in, okay? But that's me. That's my plan. Your plan can be different. That's my plan. And if I don't get to execute that plan, I am perfectly happy with the Bitcoins that I'm hodling because I have a plan. If Bitcoin hit $100,000 tomorrow, I am happy. If Bitcoin hit $1,000 tomorrow, I am happy. I have a plan for both situations. If you don't have a plan for both situations, you really need to reconsider what you are doing as a trader in this space. Nick is saying breaking prior monthly low would be catastrophic. Let me see where the prior monthly low is. The prior monthly low is at 7,000, 4,500. Yeah, I agree. On a daily scale or on a weekly scale, prior monthly low is right here. That would actually be really bad because, and that's not an area of support either, right? Like to me, if we get anywhere in the vicinity of that, we're going much lower, but at least you have support at the 30 week moving average and probably the 200-day moving average. Well, you have the 128-day moving average and then the 200-day moving average. Thank you, Carl. We'll try to bring Leah back. I'm going to try and bring back the Daily Show. I've just been too busy. All right, guys, not much else to say. The futures are trading. I want to see what happens with gold next week. This week is not really that interesting to me in gold. All right, guys, I think I'm ready to call it a day. I did add another workshop. Oh, actually, if you speak Russian, it's going to be in Russian, not in English. Check out Blockchain Days. It's an online conference, and I believe it's free, but it's going to be in Russian. Check it out. I'm one of the speakers. Okay. Blockchaindays.org. Okay, other than that, if you like this content and it's helping you, please check out tonebase.com. You can check out the affiliate section. Also, the risk and account management webinar, how to not to blow up your account, is going to take place on August 4th as a webinar. All right, guys, on this note, I'm going to call it a day. Talk to you all on the next one.